Stand. Sit. Stand. Good boy. Out. Foos. Good boy. Place. Sit. Come on. Sit. Down. All right, so I'm going to come out with Justice. He's extremely reactive to other dogs. And I'm going to enter the training session with Brendan. And Lincoln has reactivity too. So we have 2 reactive dogs we're going to be training with. So you'll see Justice when we come out. Leave it. So watch Lincoln to stop watching my dog. That's what happens. People start watching other things. Use your e-collar if you got to. Sit. Come here. Here. So we got 2 reactive dogs. You can see they're already challenging each other. Hey, Justice, come here. Leave it. Sit. You see Brendan's having a hard time with Lincoln because he's paying attention to Justice. You probably need to start tapping your e-collar, bro. Because you do not have his mind in this at all. So you want to go ahead and get his mind involved. All right, now get him back on track. Come on. Good boy. Come here. Leave it. Place. Down. Good boy. Sit. Down. Get in the box. He's a hyper. Stand. So these dogs normally bark at other dogs when they see other dogs. And we're training them side by side. Place. Place. Good boy. So we're training 2 extremely reactive dogs side by side. No, come on. We're using the obedience box. Sit. Down. Good boy. Sit. No. Down. Down. No. You ain't going to get it until he goes down. Down. You shouldn't have came all the way up. Down. Good boy. So the purpose of this exercise is training 2 reactive dogs to be in the same place at the same time. Foos. Up. Sit. Sit. Down. Down. So, again, Justice is extremely reactive to all dogs. So, Tamika, take a look. When he sees another dog, he wants to bark and go crazy. So, we got him. And Lincoln. Lincoln is extremely reactive to other dogs. When he sees other dogs, he wants to bark and crazy. Leave it. Here, place. Sit. Down. Down. Good boy. Down. Good boy. Sit. Stand. Good boy. So you probably want to take him out the box. Walk him around real quick. I see his tail's tucked behind him. So just walk him like to the fence and back. Change his mindset. Here, come here. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Out. So 2 full adult German Shepherd dogs, extremely reactive to each other and other dogs. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Huh? Try to do the box again. Leave it. Up. Sit. Now, I know a lot of people who have dogs that are reactive on leash and tell their dogs know that this is impossible for them to get their dog to do, is be side by side with another reactive dog and not be trying to bite each other or fight each other. Sit. Sit. Down. No. Down. Good boy. Way to reset yourself. Sit. Stand. Foos. Come on. Leave it. Foos. Good boy. Place. Foos. Place. Sit. So, the purpose of this training session is to have two dogs who are extremely reactive to other dogs in the same area working and not being reactive to other dogs. And once they get that, you can take your dog anywhere and they're not going to be reactive to other dogs. Down. Good boy. Sit. Stand. Foos. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. So it's just an exercise. We're going from the place to the obedience box and back to the place. Sit. Down. You need to be over here, bro. I bet you in that sun. There you go. Sit. Foos. Foos. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Up. Down. You can't stand on that. I guess you got it in there. Leave it. As soon as he went to react to look at Lincoln, I popped his leash. Sit. Down. Down. Good boy. Stand. Foos. Place. Sit. All right, Brian. He was more worried about Justice getting to him or him getting to Justice than he was about training with you. Justice really figured out that I had control. So Justice didn't care. He was done. He said, all right, he's got control. This dog's not coming over here. Down. This dog's not coming over here. I'm good. Right? That was kind of, here you go. That was his lack of confidence in you. That's nothing personal. He just didn't feel confident that you could control the situation. This is what happens with dogs a lot of times when people go to dog parks, pet stores and stuff, and their dog is anxious. He just didn't feel he was confident enough to be that you had that. So he would have done the same thing with me if the roles were reversed. He don't have that kind of trust that we can control that situation, right? Justice immediately realized that we had control of the situation, so he was like, I'm good. That dog's over there. And sit. Down. Stay. Foos. So he was fine. So now when you look at him, his whole demeanor's changed because Justice is gone. So he's not having to look back behind his back, look over here at another dog, right? So about 2 more sessions of that, and I think he would be fine in the session anyway. But both Justice and Lincoln are really reactive to the dogs when they're on leash. We're talking about on leash. Now I don't know how they are off leash if they're aggressive to dogs. I know once they're on leash, they're really reactive to other dogs. So we were doing that on leash training and obedience box. He did really good. I saw you had to add a little pressure sometimes, but he did really good. He was coming along, and I think if we had done it like 3 sessions back to back, he would have looked just like Justice by the 3rd time. He would have felt okay. But the whole purpose of the training session was for him to be able to be walking around in the store and see other dogs and not be reactive. For him to be walking down the street and see another dog and not become aggressive or reactive because he's on leash. So that was the distance of 5 feet of being next to another reactive dog. Now, normally you generally want to do the training with the dog that is not reactive and one is reactive. That's how you want to do it. We don't have that luxury because majority of the dogs get reactive on leash when they see other dogs. They want to play with them. They want to fight with them. They want to run with them. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. So we have to use what we got. But showing 2 reactive dogs working on leash in the yard without not trying to fight each other or be aggressive towards each other is the key. Down, down, down. And so Lincoln's learning down. I don't know if you saw Justice. When Justice came up too close and I told him down, whenever he went down, he kicked his legs back so he had enough room. He doesn't because he's learning it. So it's hard to push him back, right? So he doesn't want to kick his legs back, so that's just something we have to work on. So you did really good. Who, Lincoln? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you were doing Cali. All right. How did he do overall, though? I didn't say he was really bad. I said he wasn't listening. Monica said that he was bad, but I told her, I said he's different dog now that I've been working him. He heals, he'll go down, he'll jump. Like he wouldn't do anything for her, but he did all those things for me. Because it depends on who's handling him. If I'm doing it, he wants to do it. He's like King, right? King only wants to listen to me. You have dogs like that, right? That's nothing wrong with that. Them, right? Like the only reason why he tucked his tail is because he had on a prong and he has an e-collar on. So he was like, "Oh, this is gonna get used on me if I act stupid." You know what I mean? Now, if you look at him now, because I'm not adding any pressure on the prong or anything, his tail's out. You know what I mean? But because he wasn't listening, you had to add a little pressure to get him to go down. His tail went under. You know what I mean? Because he was really focused on Justice. He kept looking over to the right. You know what I mean? Looking at Justice. Justice was not looking at him after I gave Justice a little pressure. He stopped looking at him altogether. He didn't care. So he was in a happy-go-lucky mode. But the reason why I said you did good was because you did not allow him to bark. If he would have barked, Justice would have barked and it would have been on. You know what I mean? It would have hard. Their mindset would have been racing. Okay, well, he did really good. You have to train with. All right, guys. So that's working with reactive dogs and working them in the same session using the obedience box or the shaping box and a stand. And getting them used to being around the dogs and not being reactive. We didn't really have to use too much pressure to get the dogs to work, but they worked. So I'm Madison Bell. I hope y'all saw that and understood how we did that. And we didn't really edit too much. We just went straight through and showed you the dogs and what we did and how they ended up doing during the end of the session. So again, I'm Madison Bell. You guys have